Hi, One Life families. It's Erin here. We are looking now at our imagining and coloring section that we are going to do together, and really love this section. We get to do it every week, and this week I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about how things you can do, because we're going to add on every week. But essentially, you're going to make either like a wall hanging, or a garland or something, because every week you get these little coloring pieces. And they have the title of our each week's session on it. So this week is At the Table. And in your Compassion Camp kit, you should have received a wooden dowel and some string or yarn. So this is for the wall hanging. If you want to put yours together, all I did was connect the two ends to the wooden dowel, and then I colored out this and put this on a piece of paper, and then you can just cut a little piece of string and attach it. You'll probably have to start in the middle to do some balancing action, and then I'm going to tie this right in the middle, and then I'm going to tape this other end here to this one, and then the other thing, if you wanted to, you could decorate your dowel so that it looks really cool, wrap it in string or paint it or do something like that. But then you can hang this somewhere in your house so that you can always be reminded about what we're going to be doing. Now, we're going to be adding 5 more to here, so you're going to have to think about maybe how long the pieces are so you can see them all, but that's one idea. The other idea is that if you wanted to just take a piece of, this is just thick ribbon that I had, and you could take your picture and you can either somehow connect it on here, and then you'll add all your other pieces on here, or you can do it this way and have this connected to like someplace on your wall or something like that. So then you can add each one to it as you're doing it. But that is the coloring piece of this one. And as you're coloring, that gives you some ideas to think about, especially about the story that you hopefully got to see either during the Zoom call earlier this week, or maybe you watched it just on our website. And as you're coloring, some things to think about are, what did the father see, and did you see what the father saw? How about the younger brother, right? What about the older brother? What feelings did you feel when you heard the story? Were you thinking about what the father was thinking, or if this felt fair or unfair, different ideas about that? Who shows compassion, right? That's a good question too. And who receives compassion? So there's 2 parts to that one. Something to think about as you're imagining together with your family. Some ideas are, do you think the older brother ever came to the party? And if he did, do you think he sat at any of the tables, or maybe just watched from behind, possibly? Who might have sat with him? Do you think that he sat at the table with his dad and his brother? If not, when might they have had a meal together again? That's a really interesting question. Like, maybe it took some time. Who sits with you at your dinner table? What do you talk about? Do you have something you talk about every time, or do you do different things? And how do you welcome each other when someone's had a hard day or doesn't want to sit at the table, right? Maybe sometimes it is a little tricky to join your family or stay at the table the whole time. How do you kind of do that is another question too. So those are some things to think about as you're coloring and you're getting ready to put together your little wall hanging. So that's that. And there's a couple other coloring activities, and I wanted to show you a really cool thing that we are going to be doing. So in your family pack, you should have gotten all of the pieces to make this giant Compassion Camp poster, and it's really cool. It's got tons of the things that we're going to be talking about this time. So what we're focusing on now, right, is at the table, and that's this section right here. So it's actually 2 pages of yours. What you might do is just color 1 page each week. There's actually 6 pages, but you can maybe color 2. But As you're doing it, you should think about what topic we're talking about. For us, it's at the table, and see if what you can find in this poster that talks like is showing how you can show compassion at the table. So I'm going to bring this up close so that you can take a peek and see what pictures there are in there. I mean, right away, I can see a food bank. I can see people getting communion. People just joining at the table. I see a truck delivering food. So those are some great things. And there's probably some more throughout this whole page, but we are gonna color one of these each week, and so next week you're going to see one of ours colored, and we're going to get this poster all done. We're hoping that we're actually going to have one of these up in our sanctuary or out in the foyer when we finally get back for church, maybe with everyone joined in to help color it from the whole congregation. So be on the lookout for that. So please, if you get a chance, take those pages out, color one or two of them each week, and you kind of piece them together. The instructions are in your kit, but you can kind of piece them together and put them up on your wall, and it's just a really great reminder about how we can show compassion to everyone. So that is our imagining and coloring, and we will see you next week for our next session.